Welcome back. Today's scripture for reflection is Proverbs 22, verse 6, and it says, Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. I have a question for both my parents in their capacities as parents and as family life directors. So, Mom, this question is for you first. What do you think is the impact of family worship on the family within the home?
I think that, and it's just a thought, but we can see where family worship has impacted our children, and not only our children, but the wider community. But in terms of our children, um, I guess that out of what we do on a Friday night, we are seeing it now playing out in our children. Our son ensure that he goes to Friday night vespers, right where he's at right now. And I see where, Rochelle, that you go, you do have your own family worship. And I believe that it's out of these songs that we sing on a Friday night, and you get this idea from. So I am seeing where it does impact both of you in your capacity where you are right now. So family worship is extremely important. We may not see the impact of it now, but later on, in terms of different families, continue your family worship because it will impact your children and you will see it later on in life. But I think our children has been very much impacted with our family worship.
And I just want to piggyback on that point because I can remember vividly on Friday nights, that would be especially when I was in primary and junior class. Those quarterlies, and for those who don't know, as Seventh-day Adventists, each quarter we have a Bible study guide for all ages. You will matriculate from each class depending on your age until you've gotten to the adult stage and you're just staying there forever. But at each stage of your learning, especially for the juniors and the primaries, who mommy can remind me the age group for primaries is 7 to 9,
17
and
is correct. Yeah.
yeah, and juniors would be like
10 to
10
12.
to 13,
10 to
10 to
12.
12. Okay,
Yeah.
right. So I remember in our family worship on a Friday night, each when I was in primary and junior, we had to talk about all the things that we did for the specific days, having written them down in my book, because each day we had an activity in our Bible study guide that we had to do. I don't know if you guys remember that,
Right.
but
Yes, we
if
remember
it
that.
said on a Friday you have to act out the story, best believe, guys, we did have to act out the story. If you were supposed to say a poem, you did have to say the poem. So those are some of the things. And that, if I can just move over to you, what do you think is the impact of family worship on the children when they have left their childhood home?
Well, I think we kind of were just saying it just now. This year we are not family life directors. We were family life directors last year and the year before.
Okay.
And this year the family worship that we started as family life directors during COVID continues on a Friday night with the new family life directors. And what we're seeing is that our daughter picked up, having been away from home, picked up the family life worship. And I think what we see is that, as I just mentioned, the children want to continue that type of thing. So I suspect that for families, if you start a good thing like a family Friday night worship or morning worship or evening worship, it will continue in generations to come. And what it also does, what I've seen is that our children seek to have their own private devotion
Mhm.
to continue the building of the relationship with themselves and their God, which is an excellent thing. So family worship, yeah, thumbs up for it, really. Really
And
good.
Yeah.
I just want to add to that. Sorry, mom, were you gonna say something?
You want to say something?
No, I was just affirming what Vaughn has said.
Okay, I just want to add, um, you guys probably didn't notice. It's a confession is good for the soul. But on Friday nights, when we would have family worship, as I said in last week's episode, again, if you haven't watched that, you need to go and watch it after this episode, of course. But we would sing more than one songs. So much so to the point where dad or mom would have to cut it off because the time was going. And what would normally be half an hour would end up into 1 hour worship. And like we haven't begun to talk about that Friday night discussion based on a paragraph that we have read. But during the period where we would sing the songs, sometimes Zav and myself we would record, especially when the harmony was tight. We'd
Mhm.
record it and send it to some of our friends who we know were missing
Okay.
family worship, or
Okay.
they were probably on the road heading home, or they're just
Okay.
living away from home. We
So
would
the
send it to
confession is good
them.
for the soul indeed.
Yes, you
We
heard what I
would
said earlier, right? There are some things we don't
No.
know how the impact has been, so
Yeah.
it's not only just our children. We can see that it's impacting the wider
Yeah.
Yeah,
children,
we would
friends of our
really
children.
send it out. We would send out like some whole songs. I remember doing that. I probably still have some WhatsApp audio still in my phone. We'd literally record it and send it out for them to enjoy worship too, because they would have missed home or whatever their situation is.
That's
So yeah,
Very
interesting.
good, very good.
confession good for the
Thanks
soul.
for well,
It's good
thanks
to
for
know.
sharing that. Yeah.
Yeah. So that every time somebody's on the phone in worship, it means that they are thinking also, they might be recording you.
There you go.
I
There
see.
you go.